So I'm in Munich today, and it's a beautiful fall afternoon here. The leaves, wow. And well, I've got a bit of a tour story for you. So I'm shooting this from my phone. About a week ago, when we were changing trains in Rotterdam on our third or fourth train transfer of the day, I popped into a kebab shop to order a sandwich, and when I wasn't looking, somebody swiped my carry-on luggage, and that luggage had not my saxophone. Fortunately, I have my saxophone, but that luggage had about $8,000 worth of equipment and cash: my laptop, my iPad, all of my microphones and effects pedals, saxophone stand, hard drive, various other electronics that I mentioned, the laptop and the iPad, cash from CD sales and a few nights of shows. $8,000, and the bag itself, $8,000 hit. Boom. We pulled in. It was our only chance to eat some food that day. If we didn't grab it in that 10-minute window, we were going to go straight to sound check and the gig before even getting to dinner or the hotel. We were heading from Germany back into the Netherlands, and we all kind of pooled our luggage together, looked at the menu, turned around. I was like, all right, I'll just grab something out of my bag. I grabbed some cash out of my bag, careful not to advertise it. I'm not a total rookie, but I thought that I was at least being, Anyway, we figured maybe it was somebody in the restaurant, like sitting there already, because we had everything was sort of, the bags were all castled together, you know what I mean? And mine was the smallest one. And oh God, what a dope. I feel like such a dope. Just to fast forward through the inevitable questions, yes, I filed a police report, and the police were very helpful, and I had Apple AirTags, and I could still see the laptop is in Den Haag. They grabbed it, I hopped a train straight to Den Haag, and we could literally follow the stuff, but sort of to no avail. It ended up in some giant apartment building, and the cops couldn't really, go door to door knocking on every door saying, "Excuse me, might you have a stolen MacBook Pro?" So anyway, that was not fun, to say the least. And that was about 4 shows in. And then we played that show, we got through that show in Middelburg, and with some wonderful help from the folks there in Middelburg, getting on the phone for me and conversing with the cops in Den Haag. And again, just super helpful people. So it was a real bummer of a day, but the Dutch people really came to bat and helped out. And I debated whether I should try to recover any of the musical gear. And I was sort of 50-50, but I thought, gosh, this tour that we're on has been rescheduled like 2 or 3 times, in the COVID years. And here we are with the band, with the music, and to not be able to play certain songs where I'm expecting to, at least have access to some colors in my palette through that delay pedal and such. It felt important enough that it was worth a try. I could definitely get through the show. Like I said, I had my saxophone on my back, thank God. My passport, my wallet with my credit card was on me. I had almost put my passport in that roller bag. I'm so glad I didn't. A big learning lesson. And so I have those things with me, and I reached out to a few friends and friends of friends, and through some connections, was able to rally some really helpful people. And so a guy in particular in Tilburg, oh my God, Francois, he was just jumping through hoops to try to find these pedals for me. So these 2 pedals that I use, one is actually a preamp. It's called the Voco Loco microphone preamp. And it's really important because it balances the sound. So I have this DPA clip-on microphone, which is also it's a really good mic, really balanced dynamics. It handles dynamics extremely well. It goes into the Voco Loco, and it kind of, just helps the sound be what it should be. And then it talks to the delay pedal. So this way you're not running the microphone through a delay or any other kind of effect pedal, right? It's like side chain. And then I have an expression pedal, which allows me to control how much wet or dry signal. And the 4 of those things work together. And it's sort of like without one, the other 3 aren't that helpful. I could have gotten by without the mic if I had the preamp and the delay, but if I had the preamp and the delay without the expression pedal, it sort of was like that. So anyway, I spent 2 days on text and WhatsApp and just communicating back and forth with people, checking music stores, all those sorts of things. It wasn't looking good. But I went to visit a guy named Friso at Amsterdam Winds on one of those days off. And I should back up a little bit. So Francois is working on the pedals. He finds a timeline delay pedal. But again, it's like, don't get the timeline if we can't get the Voco Loco. We need all of the pieces. He then finds a guy he locates the one Voco Loco preamp in like all of the Netherlands, and the guy's shop is closed, and he keeps pestering him. Finally, he gets the guy on the phone. Turns out that the gentleman has COVID, so the shop is closed. Francois explains the situation, yada yada. This guy gets his wife out of, I don't know, out of bed, that might be extreme, but like has his wife go down to open up the warehouse for the store and somehow meet up with Francois, and he buys these pedals for me. He drives them to Rotterdam. We find this music store, Bax Music, has this one expression pedal, and we had to order it to see if it would even be in stock. And then the next day it was. And I ended up walking an hour to get it because I couldn't get an Uber. And then there's the microphone. So I went to Amsterdam to visit Friso and try out some necks and such. And he connected me with Candy Dulfer, the famous Dutch saxophonist. And here's the kicker. It just so I connected with Candy Dulfer, which was wild, because like, what? I mean, when I was a kid and just getting into playing the saxophone, I used to watch Candy Dulfer on the Arsenio Hall show. Like, you know, Lily was here. Like, are you kidding me? Candy Dulfer, like, was definitely a part of my chapter of you know, just entering into this world. So there I am chatting with Candy. And finally, like, we get on the phone, we're talking, and she's like, you know, my boyfriend works for this audio company, and he actually ordered a DPA microphone for me to try, me meaning Candy. I'll just skip to the end. I'm sitting in Amsterdam waiting to catch a train back to Rotterdam, and I'm talking with Candy, and it turns out her boyfriend's about to be home, and he might have the mic, and he does have the mic. And she's like, where are you? I said, I'm in Amsterdam. She's like, well, we were in Amsterdam too, and I'll send you my address. And I was about a 25-minute walk away from them. So I walk to Candy Dulfer's house to see if this mic is the right mic. Turns out it is the right mic. And so I buy the mic from her, and then they very graciously like, oh, would you like some wine? We're having the family over for dinner. Would you like to stay for dinner? So I had dinner at Candy Dulfer's house. It was amazing. We had a lovely evening, and this was one of my 2 nights off. And check it out. So here's what we got. This is what happened in the end. I got the timeline. Boom. I got the Voco Loco. I got the DPA microphone from Candy. She was happy to do that. And so there's that. And I got the expression pedal. Boom. There's that. So there's all 4 pieces. And then I didn't have a saxophone stand. So my man Jaston, who lives in Rotterdam, brought this stand, and he gave me this stand. This was the exact one that I had stolen, and he brought it to the gig. And now I have a stand. So I am back in business with musical equipment because of the kindness of strangers and friends, and kind of a beautiful silver lining, and just, you know, that part of it absolutely just warms my heart for humanity. You know, people are good-hearted and good-natured, and they want to help, and they care. And like I said, everybody was so helpful. So is it a bummer? Yes, total bummer. But then again, I'll have this story with me for life. Like, just a pretty cool situation. So that's the update as of now. Tomorrow we head to Tübingen. The next day we're at London at Ronnie Scott's. After that we're Band on the Wall in Manchester. And this is maybe a separate story. I guess we're playing Glasgow. And I say I guess, I'll have to tell you more about this later. There's been some back and forth and some misunderstandings perhaps with contracts, and I haven't been sure whether to say we are playing or we are not. But we are playing a club called Drygate in Glasgow on Friday, and definitely could use some help in the ticket sales department. So if you know anybody in Glasgow who might enjoy our music, please send them our way. Like I said, I think there was some misunderstanding about whether we were playing there or not, or what venue. I don't know all the details, but I know that it would be helpful to have some more tickets sold at Manchester and at Drygate in Glasgow. But I gotta upload this from my phone here on the kind of slow hotel Wi-Fi if I can. So yeah, it feels weird putting up a video that I've not done any editing with, and can't show you any kind of fancy B-roll, but there it is. I thought you might find the story interesting. Yeah, all right, I'll talk with you soon.